I just want to quickly share this word with us. In this season, God is calling people to different things. He's making us do new things for the kingdom, and so for people who are not necessarily used to being in the limelight, it might be quite weird. But hey, you need to understand that the message that God has put in your heart is very valid. You need to know that so many people need to hear that message regardless of how you feel about it. You might think that, oh, this message, I don't think it's relevant. Like it's not it's not related to this time. But hey, if God put that thing in your heart, then it's very, very relevant in this season. Remember that God is the discerner of hearts, and you cannot tell what your brother or your sister is going through, but God, who sees the hearts of everyone, knows exactly what that person is going through. And so if He puts a message in your heart to share, it is very important that you share that message with all boldness. Even if it takes you shaking on the chair like me right now, it's very important that the message gets out. But again, I just want us to know that we need to work on our minds. A lot of us have got these nudges to start a men's ministry. Probably you're a woman and God is saying start a men's ministry, and you feel, they won't listen to me, they won't do this. But hey, if God has called you to do it, they will listen. You might be an entrepreneur who has not really been spiritual before, and then God is now saying, oh, gotta follow entrepreneurs and have meetings, have prayer meetings, worship meetings and all that. And you're feeling like, will people come? Will they listen? We need to take our eyes off the world's expectation of a successful meeting. If you call that meeting and there's only one person that shows up, hey, congratulations, you started. Who knows? Maybe it was just that one person that God wanted to reach. If you call that meeting and you have 100 people, congratulations. That you have 100 people today does not mean that the next meeting you have 100 people. So we need to take our eyes off the earthly expectation of having like 1 billion people at a meeting. No. Sometimes God might raise you for just one person. Yes. And so when He's calling you to start these things, don't start with the mindset of, oh, this meeting I'm going to have like 5 billion people. Calm down. Don't put pressure on yourself. The most important thing is for you to start. Other things will fall in place along the line. Now, don't go blind. Don't start without knowing exactly what you're going into. And that's why it's important that even when God gives us these messages in our spirit, we still sit in the place of prayer and know more. So God has placed a book in your heart. I had that experience last week while I was working on a book that I'm about to release, and I was just stuck. And one of my mentors spoke to me, and she said sometimes when God gives us these instructions, He needs us to sit down with Him in the place of prayer to birth these things. You can't afford to just go out on the emotions you feel in your heart. We need to be guided. We need to be on the right path. We need to be sure that if God is saying do this thing 1A Roman numeral 1, you need to do it that way. You can't afford to do less of what He expects of you. But how do you know God's expectation of you? It is in the place of prayer. It's in the place of constant communication with God. We stay at His feet and we learn from Him. That's what He's calling us to do this time. Millions are perishing. A lot of people need that message that He has put in your heart. And trust me, the message He has put in your heart might not even be to start a ministry. The message He has put in your heart might be to start encouraging entrepreneurs like yourself. It might not be to start a ministry like me. But whatever it is that He has called you to do, you need to be willing and obedient to follow through. When I started How Does God See Me, I was so scared to announce it to the world. I was so scared to even talk about it. The Bukun that started How Does God See Me 2 years ago wouldn't have ever thought that one day I will do a video talking about how does God see me. Like, really? But there's the place of boldness in the delivery of our message. There's the place of letting go of how you feel. I normally wouldn't do a video. I would rather just be somewhere typing, writing an article or something. But if God says do a video and talk to people about something, it's not up to me to say, oh God, I don't like the camera. Hey, He needs you to like the camera, so like the camera, But I just want us to know that in this time, your message is very valid. People are counting on that which God has placed on your inside to bring them out of certain pits that they are in right now. And because we all have a smile on our faces, we cannot we can't understand the pains the pains we're going through. You see somebody smiling, you're like, oh my God, our life is so perfect. Our life isn't. Our life isn't. And the more you feel that somebody's life is perfect and the person does not need your message, the more you move away from your place of assignment. So, be courageous in the delivery of your message.